Hello, it's Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Winnebago 30 RLSS travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, you need to leave plenty of room for a slide to come out here, as well as an awning. On your off campsite, besides your slides, I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power cord is going to be just in front of your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Then your docking station for campsites will be up here in the front in your docking station. Once we arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we're going to do is level our unit. Unit comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light, should you arrive at night, simply lower or raise the unit until you're level. Now, should you lose power, underneath this stopper here, your little hand crank here will get down on there and get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery post every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose going down the road. Once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. It also comes with power stabilizing jacks. Two of them here on your campsite. Push up to extend. The one to the front is going to extend the one on the rear side over there. And bring that down just until it's taut. Same thing on this side. As I extend it, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads will protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris. Keep them from sinking into the hot blacktop. Run these down on top of those jack pads just until they're taut and it feels like it's going to start lifting the unit. Remember, our unit's already level, so we don't want to change that. We're just trying to support it. Same thing here in the rear. There's a hand crank that you can manually get these up and down should you lose power again. Get all four of them down, got our unit level and stable, we can hook up our power and water. Big long 30 amp cord plugs in here on the side. The way these goes on now is it'll go in, say, at 11 o'clock at an angle here, and then turn it to noon, and then put your gray washer on. Now, at the end of that 30 amp service, in your convenience pack, if you need, will be a 30 to 15 amp reducer. In case you need to plug into a 110 somewhere, you can throw this on the end of that. Got your power hooked up, let's hook up our water. At camping sites, we're going to hook up front here, our city water connection. Grab you a water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so always use these. Get that in there nice and snug. Hook up your hose. Don't turn on your hose on yet. Let's find your hot water heater. Back here by your power. Here's your hot water heater, and all we're doing at this point, folks, is making sure our drain plug's in there. Get that in there nice and snug with some plumber's tape, not putty. Putty will gum up on you. Get that in there nice and tight, and then you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After your hose been on, we're going to go inside and open up our slides.
I don't care.
Open them up just so you can get to any of your water lines. Open them water lines up, sinks and showers, get a nice steady flow of water going through them. Then you can shut them off and you know you're all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go dry camping. Well, in that case, we're going to fill up your freshwater tank, which is just below your power here. No need for a water pressure regulator here. Gravity fill this with a hose. Two ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right there, or two on the inside. If we check the levels of your black and gray tanks, there's also a freshwater button. While filling that, keep an eye on that. Don't leave it unattended. Once that's full, remove that hose, put this cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. Don't turn on your water pump and hook to city water. That is already pressurized. All right, we're all set to camp. I'll go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit, continuing here on the off camp side. Up front here, you are prepped for solar. You can plug in a solar panel here and that will trickle charge your batteries. The big pass-through storage, 110 cable hookups here. This is your on and off Battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. This is your hot water bypass. That's good to tank water, and that's for city water. Down here is your potable water. This spray port hose will hook up to that. Below that is our fresh city water tank again, and down here is where you can run your hoses through. Coming down the off campsite, we've got our flue for our furnace. A few things on that. Steer clear of that when you run it. It's hot. It gets hot. Below that, our hot water tank. Again, fresh water. Black tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks here. There's an access panel to the back of your fridge. There's a vent for your hood vent inside. Your antenna system. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year, check the seams of your roof, and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. I recommend getting a cover for your spare tire. It keeps that from dry rotting in the sun on you. Not much talk about at our campsite. We'll run that awning out here in a little bit. This here is to hold your door open. You are prepped for a TV back here. There's a backer here. Put a backer in there, cable 110. And lastly, the other side of our front storage here, which has your hitch work, lights for in here, and a light for all of your lights up here. Again, your batteries. Your propane is on a regulator. It's pointing toward the tank you wish to be using. Lefty loose to open. And green will mean you've got gas. If it turns red, you're out. That about covers everything out here. Let's take a look on the inside. Okay, so coming up beside the unit, first thing I'd like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of emergency. As you come in, immediately up the wall here is going to be our control panel. I ran them out already, save some time, but main slide is your one on the left here. Second slide is your one on the right. Coming back into our bedroom, in order to open your bedroom slide, you have to turn your slide out on, and then this will work. With that off, this will go nowhere. Alright. So again, I've opened up the slides. Here's our awning. On your awning, you're only going to want to run your awning out until the flap falls down. And you can see the bottom of your, or you can see the brown bar. If you run it out past that point, it will continue to run itself out and up onto itself. So keep an eye on it when you're running it out. Don't run it out further than you need to. When it's wet, those flaps do tend to not fall as easy. Got that out. I'm going to go ahead and show you slam locks work best when gently slammed. Alright, so down here is where you turn on your hot water heater if hooked to electric, your hot water heater if hooked to gas. It does make a difference. Here's where you turn on the water pump to utilize that fresh water. Here's just a light for your LP heater. They don't have one on here. Main lights, entry lights, which is your awning lights. Up here is where you check the levels of your brand new battery. Black or fresh, black, and gray tanks have freshwater buttons. One I said to hold down when you're filling up your fresh water. Immediately here to our thermostat. Oop, let's go right to cool. Crank up your AC. It's down low enough to get it to come on here. AC also has a quick dump. If it's super hot here in the kitchen, you can blast it cold. Now you notice I cycle through and shut that to off. Generally your ACs will shut off kind of quickly. Generally. Well, as I'm waiting for that to shut off, there it goes. We'll circle through to furnace now. There goes the furnace. Now if I shut the furnace off, what you will notice is the furnace fan does take a few minutes to cycle through before it shuts off. 110 charging port. Down here is your carbon monoxide propane detector. Left of that is going to be your breaker box and fuses. Get it open here. We've got a handful of 20s, a couple 15s, a 1, a few 40s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Coming into the kitchen, we'll turn on our Dometic fridge. Over to the left here is on. Auto means when you're running off electricity, or when you're plugged in, you're running off electricity. As soon as you unplug, you're running on gas. Or lift that button up, you're strictly on gas. If that light starts flashing, your gas is low. Settings for them are indoors. It's freezing already. Fan and light above your cooktop. This glass top is making a nice backsplash. You will turn this to light and hit your spark. Got there, turn your gas on. We'll get all these to light up here. Now, what you will know is when you first get to, there we go, to campsites, you may have to bleed your lines to get them all going. But eventually here, you get all your burners lit up. You may have to open up these lines and just keep sparking until it lights, just when you first get to the campsites. Pilot light on, you'll light that with this spark, and then turn it to your desired temperature. Just remember, put that glass top down for travel. Your microwave working here. So over here to the left is a 110 with GFCI reset. Right in here. There we go. Television, sound system, and fireplace. All your remotes will be right in here. I'll start with your TV. When you get to the campsites, go into menu, go to antenna, run a digital channel scan, and that'll help you to pick up all your local channels where you're at. Even in this metal building, it doesn't pick up good. I still got like 19 channels, so shut that off. We'll go to the next remote, which is our sound system. Turn that on. Come up to it. Multi-zoned here. I'm going to go ahead and scan, see if we can pick something up here other than that one. Maybe not. Metal building again. So, 3 zones on the speakers. Outdoor, up front, indoors. Bands, AM, FM, Bluetooth. I don't see a Bluetooth on here, but I do see a DVD menu. Remote for that as well. Fireplace. Not just for looks anymore. There's one more remote for that as well. So I can make it brighter or dimmer. But the biggest thing, folks, is the heat. If it's chilly in here in the morning or evening, instead of wasting your gas, if you're at a campsite, crank this heat up on here onto high. Getting toasty in here already. This will warm it up without having to waste your gas. Quickly show you now how to turn your sofa into a bed. Remove your back cushions here. Just Velcroed on. Stand in the middle, it gives you good leverage. Fold your legs out. Hold on towards you. Lay the back down. That quickly, you've got another place to sleep. Most important thing, Ian, putting these away, make sure you lift the back up first. Otherwise, you're going to damage your sofa. Again, standing in the middle gives you good leverage. Hold these in. Jackknife it down. Just that quickly get back to a sofa. The recliners, or parachute pull, I like to call them. Pull up on that. That reclines you. And the end of your pantry here. Got this area here inside your island. One charging port here. Here's how to turn on these lights. Dinette lighting is right here. Same thing with the lighting here. Charging ports back there. Smoke alarm. Heading back into our bathroom. Just want to tell you, make sure that this shower door is snapped closed for travel. Some plumbing to maintain. Here in the kitchen, just keep an eye on things. If you travel a lot and you're bouncing this down the road a lot, remember you're bouncing a house down the road, so keep an eye on things, make sure nothing's wiggled loose. Another 110 with GFCI reset. Lighting. You do have a hand crank open. Exhaust here. Brings us to the bedroom. Another door to have snapped open. This is going to keep that from bouncing around you during travel. Bedroom, closet. Make sure this is closed as well. Access to outdoors, so make sure keep that locked out there. Looks like another spot for a TV, probably backer here, 110 and cable. That about covers it in here. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I do want to mention when you arrive at the campsite, put a couple gallons or a few flushes of water in your black tank. It'll help later in dissolving things. Your black tank will thank you later. Alright, so closing the unit up, you want to walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede our slides from coming in. We're starting the bedroom by turning this back on, then just hitting slide in. Again, making sure everything down here is out of the way. Our bedroom door is snapped. Bedroom / bathroom. Once that's in, shut that off, shut the light off. Make sure our bathroom vent is closed. Shower door is snapped closed. Both those doors are closed, ready for travel. Again, coming into the living room, we're going to shut off my main lights, and that's going to allow me to walk through the unit and shut off any lights that are accent lights or that need to be shut off by hand. These just got a little button on the back of them. And lastly, our island ones are down here. All my accent lighting's off. Turn back on my main lights. Say again, doors and drawers. Make sure everything's out of the way of these slides, especially in here. They utilize every inch in here, so make sure everything is closed up. We're going to start with second slide in. And we're going to go main slide in. As you notice, the bottom will always come up first because that's where the motor is. Once we're in, shut off our main lights and exit the unit. Before you leave the dump station, I say that you're going to want to get inside there and check the levels as you're dumping. But after you leave the dump station, you're gonna want to lock, deadbolt, lift and turn this handle for travel. All right, if we are out dry camping, if you push these bolts on the bottom at the same time, we'll bring them right up. We're gonna bring up our stabilizing jacks, both ends. Dry camping, come over here on your off camp side, get behind your rear tire up there, and open up that freshwater drain. Hook up your hitch and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever you're in need of. If we are at a campsite, we're gonna hook our power, our water, our cable, hook up our hitch and head on up to the dump station. Dump station parked accordingly. Your dump's gonna be right in front of your tires on your off camp side. You got 10-foot hose, comes with your convenience pack. Hook that up and pull your black handle. It's gonna be a sewage handle over there on the left. When it sounds like that's no longer draining, go inside, check the level of your black tank. If it shows empty, come back out here, leave that handle open, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook it up to this tank flush. Again, emphasizing that valve open, all the way open. Turn on that hose and let that run for a good 5 minutes. It's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, close your hose or remove that hose. Make sure all that washout water you just put in there has drained. Then close that and pull your gray. Now while my grays are draining, if I'm done camping for the season, you don't want to leave a bunch of stagnant water in here. Come in here, lift up on your pressure release valve. Now be careful, it's going to dump some hot water out of there. When that's done, close that and then pull your drain plug for your residual hot water. When your grays are done, those are usually cleaner water, sinks your showers. Close that up, take that sewage hose and conveniently and sanitarily store it in your bumper and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Winnebago for many years to come. Happy camping.